Okay, everybody, welcome to a very special edition of Teaching Crypto.
That
It's
will
been a
work.
minute. We're back. Hey, I know what you're thinking. Doomsday, we're going to lay it out for you. I'm going to talk about why there's a glimmer of hope still, even being objective. Mr. FOMO's taken his hat off. And the real reason it's taken us 9 days to come back, yes, we're super busy with families and work, but you've been this close to getting Eric Trump on the show. Couldn't quite pull it off. You had some family obligations the last couple days. Some things are more important than Eric Trump. But Eric Trump did say in the last 24 hours, Mr. FOMO, I'm being serious now. He expects Bitcoin to go to 250K in the next 45 days. Are you buying what Eric Trump is selling?
You mean the smartest of all the Trump children? He says it's going to 250,000? No way. I'm not buying. I am actually selling. My thought is look at where we are right now. 92,000 pushing 93, down from 126 just a month ago. And it's not looking good.
Well, let's look at the fear
I
and
don't
greed index.
I don't share Eric Trump's enthusiasm for a 250,000 Bitcoin. And there's another reason right there is the fear and greed index is at 15.
It was at 10 for a few days. So we got that going for us here. It's a bit better, actually. Uh, not much better, but a little bit better. Okay. By the way, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Super chats are available. If you're here with us, please share anything you want in the chat, and we'll share it with our audience here. So here's the deal. That 126 lasted for a few hours too. The next day, we immediately started going back down. Thank you, Flip. Eric Trump, the smartest. The bar set not too high. We're not going to get political. Although, before you continue, Mr. FOMO, you don't have your hat on. It's because when you found out today that they voted to release, you threw your hat up in the air in excitement. Little did you know that 90 files are going to be redacted in the next 48 hours because of national security. The guy's been dead for years. What national security? They don't want you to know all the stuff that he was involved
It
in.
has nothing to do with national security. It has everything to do with the names that are on that list.
Yeah.
So they're going to redact all the names that they don't want you to see. And we'll never actually know the truth. We'll never actually put pedophiles in jail. It's going to be sad.
No. We will. Sadly, no. But going back to Bitcoin here, a bit of a movement here. So last night we hit 89, which is really scary, and we bounced back today into the 93 range. Now, here's the thing: we never really got our pump in October. The 126 was so quick and so short, and the alts never built on it, right? I mean, when's the last time ETH and any alts pumped? The ETHs have been in the bear market pretty much for a year. Like if you look at iOS network, it was well over $1 a year ago. Now it's at 13 cents. So the alts have been in a bear market for a year. Bitcoin did go up, and we were talking about how amazing a buy it was at 25K on this show and saying, hey guys, if you can do it, do it. Do your own research. Bitcoin did go from 16 to 126K. That's a decent rally. Now, I'm not excited.
That's a monstrous rally.
I'm not excited about being at 90 so quickly because in the last cycle, we didn't have the huge sell-off until we had one in December and then the major one in January. And even then, you had a brief pump, and it went back to 50K in February and March before another sell-off. So to lose this much quickly is a bit concerned, right? I mean, that's 126 to 90 that quick, not even a month after the top is kind of crazy. It's supposed to be a bit
over 35K in price action. That's a huge swing.
I tend to believe, and maybe you think I'm crazy, and maybe I am, there will be some green action between now and January in 2026. I tend to believe this because of several reasons. Bitcoin is oversold. The fear index is down, which usually means, unless you're in a true bear, which I don't think we're quite in right now, that's actually usually a good time to buy. Uh, the ETH chart is doing well. And the most important chart that I think people overlook is Bitcoin dominance is going down. And that usually results in altcoins having some type of green action for several weeks. Now, do I think we're going to have an alt season? No, at this point, absolutely not. But do I think some alts like XRP and Solana can rally a bit, go up 30, 40, 50% from where they are now within a month? Yes. I think there is some type of Santa / Thanksgiving rally that will happen. Now, will we get back to 126 and make an all-time high? I can't say for sure. I'd be lying. And I'm obviously I called for 150 to 180. So right now I've got egg on my face because we didn't get close to the 150. Even the 140, my retracted goal, never happened. We didn't even get to 130. And so here we are sitting at 92. And some of you have sold, and I don't think it's a horrible idea because the risk is heavy. The chance of 70K Bitcoin, 65K Bitcoin over the next 12 months is real. There's also a chance that the cycles have been broken. So there's three possibilities. We went over this a few years ago. We've just started a bear market. Just started. Only began. Number two, delayed altcoin season and Bitcoin rally that will go into early 2026 and end it's sometime in early March with a true bear happening then. Delayed because of all the crazy stuff that's happened economically with tariffs, all the news, all this stuff that delayed everything. Or we have a triple top, which you've kind of never seen before. And there is some credence to this by the chart makers is that there can be one more pump before things go haywire. My concern of 2026 is economic. The real chances of a recession are no one's going to tell you it's not going to happen. No one's going to tell you it is going to happen, but it can happen. We're not just throwing it out there. The possibilities are there. The job market is not good. The economy is not good. People are starting to get into record debt themselves. I'm not talking about the country. I'm talking about individuals. And cost of goods are up, and none of that is good. When they talk about a 50-year mortgage and an 80-month car loan, those are concerning things. Now they didn't get implemented, but just they kind of threw those out just to see the reaction, and it wasn't good. The majority of people said, "What the hell are you doing?" Anyone with brain says no one should be getting a 50-year mortgage. I mean, you can't sell the house.
That's not home ownership, right? Like 50
That's
paying
that's
your house
that's,
off 50
that's
years
disguised. That's renting disguised as home ownership. The thing
That's
with
right.
home ownership is you want to make a profit when you sell and take the money you invested. If you owe way more than you put in and you can't sell the house, do you really own it? Not really.
No.
You're still paying income tax. You're still paying property tax. And then you're paying a huge mortgage with a huge lending fee. You're renting at that point. Because the moment
Right.
you don't make the payment, within 6 to 12 months, your ass is out of there. I mean,
And then an 80-month car loan or an 84-month car loan, whatever they were talking about. Who wants to
well, come on. Who doesn't want to buy a car at 16 and still own it in their mid 40s?
I just to me, you lose so much value in a car once you drive it off the lot. And to pay that much in interest over that long of a time, it just seems
it's an old
reckless.
mortgage. It's an old home mortgage from the 80s is what it is for a car. That's kind of sad. That's kind of
Well, I mean, that's a good point. What you're seeing now is people paying for cars what they used to pay for mortgages.
great point.
And that's a scary thought, especially when you're talking about investing and you want people to invest en masse. Retail's not going to be able to come into Bitcoin and certainly not into the altcoins now that there's 27 million.
Altcoins are in trouble. They really are. And we talked about this.
But it's because people are hurting, right? DS said it right in the chat just now. The blue collar people are hurting, and they make up the alt market. And then on top of that, the alt market is spread out to 27 some odd million coins. There's not enough money to go around. And there certainly isn't enough money with how bad people are hurting right now.
I agree with everything you're saying. Here's what I'm going to counter. Long term, this is good for Bitcoin because the money supply is gradually increasing quickly. And I strongly believe in 2028 we're going to be above 200K. I strongly believe in 2032 we're going to be somewhere around 500K. Now I know that's a long ways away.
But our salaries increasing. Salaries and what people are bringing home isn't increasing
enough.
The way that the cost of living is increasing,
not enough.
The way that groceries are increasing, the way that your taxes and your insurance are increasing. It just at some point something's got to give.
Well, and I mean, you have right now,
especially like altcoins, are the ones that are going to get burned.
You have right now, for the first time, people on the left and the right slowly starting to, I'm not going to get political, slowly trying to agree on an America First movement. You see it all over X, that people have come to the realization that so much money is going out of the country that's not doing anything for the average citizen. But it's at very early stages, right? We're so early in this. It's gonna take a while, but I see an awakening going on, Mr. FOMO. I really do. I know you're not on X as much as you used to be, but people are starting to figure things out. Now, this stuff is heavily censored on something like Facebook, which is mainstream, which is, your wife's never going to see the America First stuff, but it's starting. People are realizing it's not just a complete accident that things have gone up in price. There are reasons for this. And we've talked about this before. We're not going into detail. The reasons are not good. And the American people have been lied to about how money has been spent. And so here we are. And, Bitcoin, the reason why this show is important is Bitcoin is one of the few places you can go to preserve some of the value of your dollar, which has gone down 10% this year. Again, you bought Bitcoin in 2019. I saw a show. It was hovering around 5 to 9K for several months. You bought back then. Right now, you're not really upset about the 92 unless you need the money right now. You bought at 25 when we told you. You're not. I mean, I'm not happy, but I'm at 92. But it's the beat sure beats the hell out at 25 or 30K, and this 92 is not going to be 92 2, 3, 4 years from now. Like Michael Saylor has been saying all week, appearing on CNBC, eventually Bitcoin will make another all-time high. It's a matter of when. The challenge is people do need to spend some of their investments to live right now. And that's what's really challenging is you may want to wait till it hits 200K in 2028, but you might not be able to. So it's great that Eric Trump says 45 days, but Eric Trump has billions of dollars in reserve, and he can afford to be wrong, and some of us cannot. That's the difference.
Right. And I like what DS said in the chat. Sorry. I like what DS said in the chat. The best thing would be getting rid of these worthless altcoins. And I think that that's really what I'd like to see is a great crypto reset, is where people maybe start taking their money out of some of these worthless altcoins, some of these meme coins, some of these terrible things that, we have out there that have no value, and put them into the ones that have value, or at least put it into Bitcoin. And that way we can start getting rid of some of these worthless altcoins. But the more, you see it right there on CoinMarketCap, 27.24 million altcoins out there on the market. That's not sustainable.
No.
There's not enough money to go around. And so what we need is a great crypto reset where we get rid of a lot of these altcoins. And I don't think it's going to, at least not in this administration, I don't think you're going to see regulation in a way that resets the crypto market.
No, but there is a crypto bill that's supposed to be passed a little after Thanksgiving. So that's going to help a little bit. Dustin K says, I bought 25 from your show. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad we could help you out. Buying at 25K was an amazing move. And bought some back then, but wish I could have bought a lot more for sure, because I knew that was an amazing price. I think this is a good price. I don't know about amazing, because there's possibility that we could be headed towards a bear market. But at some point, anything under 100K is going to be great. No, Voyager's been very quiet. We're not getting any checks in 2025. We're going to continue to reach out. They've been very quiet. To me, this is a slow process of winding everything down, but I think it needs to be sped up. I mean, Three Arrows Capital, those guys at this point have gray beards longer than ours, and those who knows what those guys are up to right now. But I mean,
you can't get blood from a rock.
No,
right?
I mean,
so it's time
not like
to stop
Three
trying
Arrows.
to bleed those rocks.
I wish Three Arrows had the money the Trump family had. Then maybe we could really get back to 100%. But I mean, look, honestly, with Voyager, anything you get back in 2026, and I think there will be one more payment, is going to be a plus. Don't expect the moon. Hopefully, we maybe get another 5 to 10%, and that's kind of it, I think. And then that's it. And then things have to. I think everyone needs to move on. Maybe someday Steve will come on and apologize for everything that he did. I'm not holding any hope. I have as much faith in Steve as I have in the Epstein. Although Mark Epstein came out and said today that the files are going to release are highly edited. So at least someone from the Epstein family was honest about that.
Yeah.
You just paused, and listen. Here's the thing. Crazier things have happened in a green week or two before January. Yeah, I hope. I don't think Steve's going to jail anytime soon, but that would be where he belongs. I don't know about that. Maybe you're right. I don't know. Maybe not. We wouldn't pardon Steve. We would throw the book at him. That's for sure. He's welcome to come on the show and defend himself. Although he's blocked me on X. I'm permanently blocked from his account, so I no longer can DM him like the old days where he would respond. Look at the fine print, he used to say. What leadership?
Yep.
What is your best case scenario for the rest of 2025?
Best case scenario for the rest of 2025 is we get a triple top, right?
Okay.
I mean,
so you're open to. You think it's possible?
Best case scenario would be another pump. Like who was it that said?
No, I want
DS
you to be honest.
We get some FOMO out of left field.
I want you to be honest.
Warren Buffett buying Bitcoin, then we might get something cool.
I think our viewers need to hear this, and I'll give an honest answer. If we have a pump up to 105, is that your exit because you don't want to risk it being a trap?
Yeah, to me, the only thing that's left is a bull trap, right? And that's, we're coming down the backside of the bull run. We have a little bit of a pump, and that brings all the bulls back in, and then the rug is pulled out from under them. To me, I think there might be a chance for that, a chance to make a little bit more money. But to be honest with you, I'm not crazy about a triple top or crazy about the idea.
I think that's, and Justin, thank you so much for the super. Dustin, thank you so much for the super chat. We really greatly appreciate it for so much. I really think you might not get a triple top, but I have a feeling we'll make one more run towards 100K at least. I don't know if we'll get back there, but I think I would be surprised if we didn't at least get above 95, 96. And I'm not saying much here. We're at 92.5 right now as we speak, but I think it's within the cards. Percentages, honestly, I would say right now there's an over 50% chance we've entered the bear market, just being realistic with you. But I would say there's a lot of data that says we still could be okay. There's some people that think the 4-year cycles have been completely broken. I mean, the altcoin season cycle did completely get bashed. It's very unusual for alts to have a year of a bear market at the end of what's supposed to be a bull market. So that has changed. In fact, Bitcoin, Mr. FOMO, really, it got to 100 last December, and now we're in November, 11 months later, and it's only moved 8K the other way. Yes, it did go up to 126, but that's also unusual. So this cycle has been unusual. And it could be a sign that things are slowly changing greatly. And Bitcoin's going to be more stable. Maybe Bitcoin doesn't go all the way down to 50, 60K this time. And, some people are saying the bottom might be 70K. That would be a nice bottom to start the next bull run, because then you can easily see a 200 to 250K Bitcoin, and then hopefully a 400 to 500 eventually at some point too. I still believe in the $1 million Bitcoin, even though people are afraid of quantum computing. I think we'll get there before that happens. I hope we're alive to see it. And I think at some point in our lives, we will see a $10 million Bitcoin. The problem is you might be paying $1 million for what is that car that you want to get, Mr. FOMO? I forgot the Honda that looks like a box. Hyundai that looks like a box.
Oh, the Santa Fe.
Yeah, you're saying you might get a $10 million Bitcoin, but you'll also be paying $1 million and getting that 80-month loan for that 2045 electric Santa Fe. So that comes in 10 different colors.
Imagine me in an electric car.
That changes. I can see you walking, turquoise Santa Fe, where it becomes a convertible, playing heavy music. I see it happening. Maybe
we better have flying cars by then.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we have. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully everything can turn around for us. Listen, I'm confident that this is not the end of the world. Worst case, if we do have a bear market right now, you got to make some hard decisions, because if it is a bear market, let's be really quick before we go off the air. 92K is not the bottom. 90K is not the bottom.
Realistically, if we've entered the bear market, somewhere in the 60s is the bottom.
Yeah, and if you remember, right around the first week of December 4 years ago, there was one sell-off during the weekend that was significant, and then a month later, another sell-off. So, be careful out there, especially if you need this money to live on and you can't afford to watch that your gains go away and you haven't sold out. You want to be super, super careful, guys. Super careful. We can't make the decision for you. Just be very vigilant and keep it here as we hopefully pull out more and more content. It was a long show, Mr. FOMO. Please hit that like, subscribe, bell notification, super chats. Thank you guys so much for your support.